Okay, we're gonna record earlier today because I have free time. Normally I have free time. I'm just normally doing that with family, but my phone started dying. And being in silence around family is not fun. So we're gonna do chapter 7. Gotta do this from the beginning. Today we are reading His Reasons. It's a Todoroki X-Reader fanfic by AshleyH713. Today we're reading Season 3, Chapter 7. I'm doing this real quick because I want to see if I can fit this in here without interruptions. Because if I can, I'm going to start doing it at this time more often, with one video and then 2 at the end of the day. And then see if I can actually get to sleep earlier than usual. Yeah, I doubt that's going to happen. Midnight's the norm, because I'm normally waiting for either a video to upload or I just can't pass out because insomnia's a bitch. But that's off topic, and before I go off topic too much, I should probably start reading. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Let's begin. The first thing Bakugo heard was a small single sound from a machine beeping. It kept a steady rhythm, slowly easing the boy out of his own groggy state. His head felt... What the hell? Okay. His head felt like he'd been hit by a giant boulder, not remembering where he even was. Placing a hand to the area in question, he then heard a voice to his left. It sounded like they were underwater and muffled, but he was able to make out the words. "Kachan, you're awake! Thank goodness!" He groaned back, now recognizing that annoying voice almost instantly. It was that damn Deku. Shut up, Deku. Although his friend couldn't help but smile at that, now knowing everything was okay with him. Yeah, he's back to normal. Trying to sit up, Katsuki tried to remember what happened but drew a blank. Weren't they supposed to be at training camp? Where the hell am I? Deku paused for a moment before another voice answered, Bakugo just realizing he wasn't the only one in the room. Why, you're in the hospital. You were brought here after you passed out. Narrowing his eyes in confusion, Bakugo froze when he realized who exactly was speaking. It was All Might. Why the hell was he even here? What? Just then, like a flash of lightning, everything started to come rushing back to the boy, now grasping onto the mattress in anxiety. Wait, the attack! Deku noticed his breathing grow more rapid and confused, now trying to settle his friend quickly. Take it easy, Kachan. You just woke up. You really need to rest more. Although the boy wasn't having it, now noticing something missing, or rather someone. He didn't really care about the condition of most of his classmates, but her, he cared about her. Wait, where's that brat? The question seemed to bring an uneasiness in the room. All Might now taking a cautious step closer to the boy. Don't worry about that right now, young Bakugo. What matters is your recovery. Yet Bakugo was already distracted, trying to remember his sister in the fight, but drawing a blank. Then he realized, he hadn't seen her since their last argument. Don't tell me what goddamn matters and what doesn't. I swear, if that brat used her quirk again, I'm going to kill her myself. Where is she? Deku remained silent at the question, just trying to brush it away and change the subject. No, he couldn't know yet. You know, everyone's really worried about you, Kachan. Katsuki wasn't having it, though. Noticing the clear disregard to his question, not once, but twice, it was making him uneasy. If they really thought something that small would bring me down, then they really are dumbasses. Screw them. Now, do you want to tell me why you two are avoiding my damn question? Where is my idiot sister? All Might and Deku looked between each other silently, causing the boy to grow even more uneasy. Why weren't they saying anything? What the hell happened? Then, giving up on the two, Bakugo decided to find out for himself, now struggling to climb out of bed. He had to know if she did something stupid or not. In fact, he didn't see her the entire fight. Forget it, I'll go kick her ass myself. Deku's eyes widened at that, rolling his wheelchair over before trying to stop his friend. Kachan, wait, you shouldn't be out of bed yet. Even All Might started to grow nervous, reaching up to touch the boy's shoulder lightly. Young Midori is right. There's no need to get up. Although Katsuki was determined, throwing the number one hero's arm off of him roughly. Shut up. I'm not going to sit here like some loser. I have to go. Pushing his arm back, All Might struggled to keep the boy in place, begging him to remain calm. Young Bakugo, please. Once again, though, Katsuki didn't listen, leaning forward even more. Let me go, goddammit. What the hell is wrong with you two anyways? Why are you acting so shady? Where the fuck is my sister? Just then, the remote next to the boy's bed flew down and hit the floor roughly, causing the TV on their right to turn on. That's when Bakugo's heart stopped in his chest. It was a news station, with Amari's student photo plastered against the screen. Local heroes are still investigating a villain attack at the UA training camp late last night. One of the students, Bakugo Amari, was kidnapped at the scene, along with many others becoming severely injured. The girl in question was last seen with multiple broken bones and a gunshot wound in her right shoulder. We pray that the heroes find her before it becomes too late. The words seeped into Bakugo slowly, him absorbing them like an extremely painful poison. No, it couldn't be. This was just a nightmare. Just like all those times before. This couldn't be real. She couldn't be taken. Amari was a stubborn brat. His voice, it didn't sound like his own. Instead, it sounded small and afraid, just barely whispering out. No. Deku's eyes widened then, already reaching out for him. Kachan, I'm sorry. We tried, but... Shaking his head back and forth, he stood still in absolute shock. She couldn't be gone. Amari was sent to her room after their fight. Yeah, that was right. That made more sense. She was safe. No. This is a goddamn dream again. This isn't real. Although All Might only placed a sad hand towards his shoulder, noticing the boy connecting the pieces together and slowly growing more aggressive. Now, young Bakugo, everything's getting taken care of. Let's just calm down and... It was almost like those words sparked something inside him, something far more desperate. If this was a dream, then why were those two trying to calm him down? The reality was too heartbreaking to realize. This couldn't be real. Could it? Feeling his hands shake, Bakugo felt himself throw the covers off him, shoving the hero's arm off him. Don't fucking tell me to calm down. They have been lying, right? What the fuck happened? Amari, she can't be. Katsuki suddenly felt his breathing hitch in his throat, feeling a wave of emotion crash into him all at once. His hands began to shake, and for the first time in his life, Bakugo felt so scared, so pathetic. What had he let happen? Willing himself forward, Deku called out to him, feeling in his own anxiety etch away in his stomach. He'd never seen Kachan like this before. Frankly, it kind of scared him. Kachan! At the sound of his voice, Bakugo closed his eyes, willing the nightmare away and grabbing All Might's shirt roughly, pulling him up to his level. You're not answering me. What the fuck happened? The hero could feel the shaking hands underneath him and knew he had to explain everything or else this boy would fall apart in his arms. But then the explanation wasn't as kind either. That fate was probably inevitable. Sighing deeply, All Might spoke. Young Bakugo, you fought bravely in the attack, and when she found out the villains were after you, she stopped at nothing to save you. But it seemed none of us really understood their true mission. The true target was Bakugo Amari, and we played straight into their hands. Widening his eyes, Katsuki listened to what happened when he wasn't there and felt the tears start to make their way onto the surface. This was his fault. The reason she was gone was his fault. That idiot probably risked her life for him again, and he couldn't stop it. Again. Why was he so fucking incompetent when it mattered most? All Might took in the silence and continued, low and deep. Don't worry, young Bakugo. The top heroes are looking for her. We will find your sister. You just have to wait and trust the process. Although that's not what Bakugo wanted to hear. Instead, he was already rising from the hospital bed roughly. Fuck that. I'm going to kill that son of a bitch myself. I will hunt them down and make them sorry for ever messing with my sister. Widening his eyes at the declaration, All Might moved in front of the boy, stopping him from reaching the door. I understand you're upset, but there is no reason to be so reckless. All the other students are worried as well, but they are still remaining calm. Katsuki narrowed his eyes then, moving to step past the hero. I don't give a damn about them. They can be pussies all they want. I'm not the goddamn same as those losers, so get the fuck out of my way before I blow you up. Realizing this is only getting worse, Deku tried to quell his friend by offering some reassuring words, although he didn't really think about the meaning. That's not true, Kachan. We all want to help Amari. But we aren't pro-heroes yet. Everyone knows we'd just get in the way. Even Todoroki has been staying calm. At Icy Hot's name, Bakugo froze, a newfound rage emerging in his stomach. Maybe he wasn't there for all of this, but that bastard probably was. And if that was the case, why hadn't he done anything? Why was he acting so fucking calm? This brought another desire in his stomach. He needed to see him. That bastard. Where the fuck is he? Widening his eyes in slight fear, Katsuki then turned to his childhood friend before balling his fists and running over, lifting him out of the wheelchair. Deku, where the fuck is that goddamn bastard? Tell me! The boy gasped in terror, unable to tear away from his fiery eyes, and muttering back, The rooftop! Once he received his answer, Bakugo dropped the boy back in the chair before heading towards the door, ignoring the constant shouts from All Might and his friend to stop. But there was no way Katsuki could stop now. He needed answers, and he needed to figure out just what that icy hot bastard was thinking. Watching the people below, Todoroki stared blankly at the thousands of unknown faces walking into the hospital, none of them realizing how empty he felt inside. He hadn't spoken much after the heroes found them, and the truth was he didn't want to. What was there even to say? If he did speak, it'd probably end in tears again. Todoroki tightened the hold on the railing in front of him, feeling a soft breeze whistle through the space silently, causing him to close his eyes. Everything felt so wrong without her here. Had she really become such an important stable in his life to this degree? Todoroki just felt lost now. Suddenly, his calm atmosphere was interrupted when the door next to him slammed open, revealing a very unhappy voice. There you are, you bastard! He blinked in surprise then, turning to find the smallest glimpse of blonde hair in the corner of his eye. For a moment, his heart skipped a beat, thinking it was Amari. But sadly, it wasn't. Instead, it was someone he didn't really want to face in the slightest. Her brother. Staring back at him, Todoroki didn't speak, causing the boy to narrow his eyes in anger. You better explain yourself, Icy Hot. What happened to my sister? You said you cared about her so much, so what the fuck happened? Although all Todoroki did in response was look away from him, feeling pain just from the similarities of the siblings. The fact that they were twins was evident now. Amari reflected in his eyes. He looked sad, defeated, and that made Bakugo even more pissed. Taking a step forward, Katsuki shouted, Don't fucking look away from me, you bastard. It's pissing me off. What now, that you can't use her to become the number one hero, you suddenly don't care anymore? Balling his fist roughly, Todoroki spoke for the first time since the attack. It was low, quiet, almost afraid, with a slight crack on the words. He just wanted everything to go away. Just stop it, Bakugo. His words seeped into Amari's brother roughly, and all at once, causing a hot, fiery rage to build in his stomach. How dare that bastard tell him to shut up? He had no fucking right, especially when he was acting so calm. Did he want to just forget about his sister's kidnapping? Screw that. Guess he really didn't care for her. Racing forward, Katsuki extended his fist before punching Todoroki straight across the face. The boy didn't even defend himself either for some reason, just letting him be struck. Fuck you. How about you have some fucking goddamn emotions for once? Todoroki coughed at the impact, touching his cheek lightly before hearing Bakugo again, except this time it was far more dark. Oh, I see. Now that you can't use her to quell your daddy issues, she's not valid to you anymore, is she? Huh? What? Widening his eyes and hearing the word seep in. Todoroki suddenly felt something inside him burn, like he was on fire. How dare Bakugo assume such disgusting things about him? He wouldn't allow it. Then he turned his hand into a fist and frowned before watching Bakugo throw another fist towards him, except this time Todoroki caught it, already over his unjustified anger. How dare you? Stop acting like you understand everything. I care about your sister, Bakugo, more than you will ever know. Growing shocked at his tone, Katsuki tried not to falter, forcing the boy to let go of him roughly. Bullshit! There is no fucking way you care about her. You let her kill herself. Todoroki flashed back to the argument Amari had with her brother and glared. This boy had no idea how hard it was for him to live with her reality. Because all she wanted to do was be like you. Do you think I wanted her to die? But if I told her to stop, then it would have broken her. I couldn't do that to her. Bakugo froze at his words, realizing that she was pushing herself because of him, because it was what he expected from her. He was killing her, and he didn't even realize it. Her brother took in his explanation, but wasn't fully satisfied, spitting back, Who cares about what she goddamn wants? She's just an idiot, always coming up with these stupid fantasy dreams and delusions. That phrase seemed to make the boy even more angrier. Amari is no idiot. Stop calling her that. All she's ever done has been for you. She even traded places with you during the villain attack. How dare you act... How about you act grateful for once instead of constantly tearing her down? The insult was not lost on the boy, taking another dangerous step closer. What the hell did you just say to me, you bastard? How I treat my sister is none of your goddamn business. That brat is so pathetic and weak, acting like she's all strong and shit when she's really not. You don't fucking understand how that makes me feel. Throwing an explosion towards the boy in anger, Todoroki used his eyes to block the blow, narrowing his eyes at the boy's words. He hadn't seen Bakugo this open since the USJ incident. Todoroki called out to him then, trying to quell the boy's rage along with his own. He had a lot of patience for Amari's brother, but it was slowly starting to run out. Bakugo, let's stop this. I understand you're upset, but you are directing your anger on the wrong person. Although that response didn't help the boy at all. Instead, Bakugo puffed out his chest in a huff. Oh, I know exactly what I'm fucking doing. At least I'm reacting unlike you. I thought you cared about that brat, but it looks like you were lying just like I thought. You piece of shit, how dare you sit there and forget about her? You will never understand my goddamn feelings right now, so don't tell me to calm down, you icy hot bastard. Todoroki tried to stay calm. He really did, but those words were the breaking point, causing his chest to flare up with rage. Bakugo was misreading this entire thing, and he was sick and tired of it. Then, reaching forward, Todoroki roughly grabbed Bakugo's shirt, pulling him close in the dangerous glare. You don't think I understand? Well, you're wrong. I understand plenty. I know just how hard that girl pushes herself every day. I know how much she loves you, even though you don't deserve it half of the time. I understand every moment she's cried or held back tears because of some careless thing you've said or some kind of gesture you finally decided to give, and I understand how much she's always hurting inside. So don't you dare tell me I don't understand your feelings. I want to cry myself. Or care about all this because I love your sister, Bakugo. Katsuki remained frozen for a moment, taking in the boy's words before shoving his arm off him roughly. He really hated how much Amari confided in this bastard, when her own brother didn't know half of those things. He supposed it showed how broken their relationship is. Bullshit. If you love her, then you would have done something to stop her. You would have kept her from fucking killing herself. Looking down at his hands, the boy muttered in reply. Maybe I should have, but then I would have lost her trust. It's taken so long for her to confide in someone again. I didn't want to break that. I didn't want to break her. She's been so dedicated to you, to making sure you were safe. I couldn't take that away from her. Katsuki didn't really know why he was pouring out such information, but before he could think about stopping, he kept on speaking. Shut up! I never asked for that. Acting like she can be a hero, breaking herself down, trading places with me, that's not what I fucking wanted. She always decides these stupid ass things without me, and I hate it. I never asked to be protected by that brat. Raising another fist, Bakugo hit Todoroki again, feeling his quirk flare up his emotions fast. Usually he had better control, but right now it was harder than ever. Why does she keep getting hurt, and why am I never there to stop it? She's such a goddamn idiot all the time, I swear. Giving her up to a villain? Give me a fucking break. Why didn't she just let them take me instead? I could have taken them. I could have stopped all this, but she never trusts me. There were tears now, lining the corner of Amari's brother's vision and blurring the sights around him. A wave of devastation crashed into him all at once, feeling his voice crack. I just want that brat to be okay. Is that so hard to ask? I want her to think more about herself for once and not care so much about her fucking sorry excuse of a brother. Seeing his tears, Todoroki couldn't help but be surprised, reaching a hand out towards him slowly. Bakugo? Although when it touched his shoulder, Katsuki threw the hand off, hissing back. Don't touch me, you goddamn bastard. I already know. I fucked up with her. I fucked up so bad. I don't need your shitty harassment to tell me twice. Not really knowing what he should be doing, Todoroki was silent for a moment before speaking low and quiet. Amari thinks the world of you, Bakugo. She does all those things, as messed up as they may be, because she loves you. Shaking his head roughly, Katsuki felt his voice crack slightly. I never wanted that kind of love. I never goddamn deserved it, not after everything. Shit, the last thing we said to each other before all that shit happened? Why did I say that? Why did I push her away again? I was such an idiot. God, I'm gonna cry. Not fully denying it, Todoroki looked down at Bakugo before speaking back, this time darker than before. These are things you need to tell her. You need to tell her how much you care, or else she's going to keep hurting herself to get your approval. Whether you like it or not, Bakugo, you are everything to her. Looking down at the floor, Bakugo scoffed knowing somewhere inside that he was right. Regardless of what he wanted to believe, Amari's mindset and actions were all because of him, because he was too scared to tell her his own shame. He hated the idea that she had risked everything for him, knowing fully well that Katsuki didn't deserve that kind of love. He wasn't the strong and confident twin brother Amari idolized him as. No, he was a coward. Shaking his head weakly, Katsuki muttered back, mostly to himself, "I don't want to be." Feeling 1,000 imaginary pins and needles stab her brain, Amari groaned loudly, now realizing her entire body felt numb. Her mind was in a haze, not exactly knowing where she was or what happened. It felt peaceful. Then in a flash, the memories returned. The attack, Katsuki, and those villains. She remembered them clear as day, now growing far more panicked than before. Amari refocused her eyes when the excruciating pain started, punching her multiple times in the arm and shoulder, causing her to wince. Oh, that was right. Broken arm and bullet wound. Lovely. She wanted to cry out, but found it difficult as she realized the tight gag in her mouth, stopping her speech, so all that she could manage was a rough moan of pain. Trying to move, she also found her hands and feet bound to some kind of chair. This wasn't good. She needed to get out of here, and fast. Who knows what those sick villains had in store for her. Suddenly the door swung open, and a trail of people waltzed in, looking at their prize happily. "Finally, you're here. I've been waiting quite a long time for this." Amari narrowed her eyes and found none other than the same villain that tried to harass Deku and her in the mall, Shigaraki. He strolled up to her slowly before circling his prey. "You look a little afraid there, doll. What, are you going to call out for your dear brother this time? It's too bad he couldn't join the fun, though. How great would it have been to watch your scared eyes as well as we hurt the one close to you. But of course, you had to ruin everything again, didn't you?" Narrowing her eyes in anger, Shigaraki smirked, pointing to her gag. "Oh, you want to speak, don't you? I suppose I can be generous." He then lowered the fabric down slowly before coaxing her again. "Now, what was it you wanted to say?" Pursing her lips together, Amari hissed, "Fuck you." This certainly caused the villain's eyes to widen before letting his lip curve into a small smirk. "Well, that's not very nice." Rolling her eyes, though, the girl replied, "Yeah, well, I don't really respond nicely to someone who broke my arm and threatened to torture my brother, asshole." Shigaraki just put his arms up in defense, though. "That wasn't my doing. Call it creative expression from my colleagues over there. The orders were to get you here unharmed, but it seems nothing can go to plan today." Then he trailed his fingers down to touch her broken arm, causing the girl to wince back in a cry of pain. "Oh, you poor doll. Look at you. You're so broken. Don't worry. We can fix that." Glaring back, Amari watched as Shigaraki then grabbed her arm roughly, causing her to let out a scream, holding it back with tears in her eyes. "Don't fucking touch me." Although he didn't listen, just grabbing tighter and causing her to lose her words before hearing a loud snap as Shigaraki popped her arm back in place aggressively, causing her to scream once again. He smirked back at his work as Amari tried to catch her breath. "There, I fixed you. Now where is my thank you?" Leaning in closer, she locked eyes with the man before glaring and giving him his response by spitting in his face. Shigaraki jumped back, clearly enraged, before a loud noise echoed through the space as he clapped. Amari... As a loud noise echoed through the space as he slapped Amari hard across her face, making her cough up a bit of blood and reopen her cut lip. "You bitch, I'm trying to be nice to you, and this is what you do? You know what? Forget his orders. I think I can bring you to him a little broken after all." Amari's eyes widened then, knowing she probably made a mistake when there was a soft giggle in the corner. It sounded female. "Oh, I want to play with her first." Running forward, she caught sight of the same blonde girl from the attack, now leaning on her lap and eyeing her creepily. "Hi, I'm Toga. I wonder how good your blood is. I bet it's as fiery as you are." Ooh, I can't wait. She started to take out a knife, and Amari felt her breath stop for a moment, but luckily she was stopped a moment after. Toga, we talked about this. You can't have her blood. Toga seemed to frown at this, glaring towards Dabi roughly. Aw, you're no fun. The man sighed back, obviously over her antics, as Shigaraki spoke again, this time playing with a piece of Amari's hair. That's right, we have big plans for you, doll. You just have to be patient. Frowning back, she replied, Can you stop calling me that? I feel like I have to take a shower after every time you say that stupid nickname, creep. A small chuckle entered the space as Dabi couldn't help but smirk, although it was slowly shut down by a glare from Shigaraki. No, I think it's quite fitting for you. You just don't know it yet. Amari rolled her eyes then. Can you say anything not shady? I swear, that's like all you do. Just spit it out already, will you? What the hell do you want with me? She pulled against her ropes, causing the man to frown. This girl was already getting on his nerves. He couldn't even imagine what her brother would have been like. Probably a nightmare. It was silent for a moment before the villain decided something, leaning down slowly and causing the girl to cringe. All right, you win. Come on, I'll show you a little taste then. Then he detached the girl from the chair before Dabi hoisted her up and threw her over his shoulder. Given her small size, it wasn't hard in the slightest, and the protest started almost immediately. Hey, put me down, you purple-skinned zombie man, I swear. Oh, that's amazing. Once again, he couldn't help but smirk at her words before following Shigaraki through a portal to their right, sucking the three of them in whole. Blinking twice, Amari was suddenly hit with bright lights surrounding her at every corner. This feeling, it was almost nostalgic. She shook her head at the idea when Shigaraki smiled, opening a large door next to him. Now let's see what you can do. Then in a single motion, Dabi tossed the girl into a dark room before throwing an object in with her and shutting the heavy metal door behind them. Well, that didn't tell her anything at all. Great. The girl felt the object in the dark strangely before recognizing it, almost immediately. Wait, that didn't make sense. These were her pills. Suddenly, all the lights turned on once, blinding the girl in question as a voice was heard over the speaker. It was that damn Shigaraki again. Try not to die, doll. But then again, that would be better for me, so do whatever you'd like. Amari raised her head up, seeing a large empty room before her, shouting, Hey, weirdo! You're still acting shady. What the hell are you even talking about? A small chuckle was overheard before the door next to her started to open. There were 8 in total, lined up next to each other. Well, that couldn't be good. Suddenly, a loud, animalistic growl was heard throughout the space, and one by one, 8 Nomus stepped into the light around her. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. She couldn't fight all these off by herself. They would kill her. Shimmying herself backwards, Amari felt a ring of terror in her throat as the intercom started again. Here is your test, doll. The doors won't open until either you defeat all the Nomus or you die. Whichever comes first, it's your choice. One of the Nomus stepped forward then, causing the girl's voice to shake slightly. I thought you wanted me alive. You said you couldn't kill me. Aren't you contradicting yourself? There was a small silence before his voice returned, cruel and low. That's why the test is very important. If you can't even do this, then you aren't worthy of keeping alive. He laughed then, Amari's face turning deathly pale. She was confident in her skills usually, but with 8 Nomus, the odds weren't good. Chances are she would die here. Watching the monster take another step forward, Amari suddenly knew what she had to do. There's no way in hell she was going to die in this unknown villain lair. She then grabbed onto her pills roughly before opening the box with her tied hands. No, Amari was not giving up. She would fight her way out, no matter how impossible it was. Unknown to her, a mysterious man watched the feed from the arena. He then saw Amari pick up the pills willingly, which couldn't help but make him smile a bit wider because of it. Yes, little one, show me what you can do. Tapping his fingers on his chair, he only had one thought in his mind. It was almost time. His secret weapon was almost ready to be unleashed. Badass Amari being badass in Bakugo/Todoroki Alliance. That's what the next chapter is going to be, which I'll have to read later because I'm tired already, which is kind of annoying. Check her out. I like her stuff. She also has a YouTube channel. It is actually H. The YouTube, she had a song for this video that was I don't think it was the last one, but it was the one before that. It was a good song. You should go check it out. I'm gonna end this. Go see if my phone's charged. Yeah, you will hear me in the next video. Bye-bye.